Silenzio, Bruno. That's just a dumb voice in your head.
Disney Pixar's Luca is a film about friendship and perseverance. Just like Luca and Alberto, the creators of this film faced numerous obstacles. From pandemic restrictions to creating never-seen-before technology, the lengths that went into the creation of this film were intense. Luckily, with the help of their epic cast, they were able to power through, but not without multiple Silenzio Brunos, of course.
Silenzio, Bruno! Silenzio, Bruno!
Disney and Pixar have created some animated staples like Monsters, Inc., Nemo, and Coco. Luca director Enrico Casarosa followed directly in their footsteps by inspiring the creation of new, groundbreaking technology. While Monsters, Inc. brought the ability to animate soft hair and Nemo water, Luca animators hit a breakthrough when it came to the smooth transition between human skin and fish scales.
The question from day one, technically, how do you go from fish scales to human skin?
Luca's transformations throughout the film play a major role, and the entire team knew that they needed to be perfect if they wanted this film to be what Enrico had envisioned. They used what is called a transformation rig, which allowed them to turn their characters invisible. Now, you could lay the second character in and make him invisible and leave just the feet, and you could pick how faded you wanted that to be, or where you wanted it to be or not be, and it was like, whoa, this is so cool. However cool the technology may have been, it didn't come without its difficulties.
The transformation of our sea monsters, and in particular Luca, was one of the biggest challenges on our film.
They initiated multiple tests and even had a painter create a GIF to try and bring the image of the transformation they had in their head to life. After the ideas and technology were floated around, not just the effects department, but the production team and artists, they finally figured out their masterpiece, with a little help from the animation used for Coco.
The blending aspects of it, we actually used a little bit of technology from Coco.
The new technology was even used in developing the motion of pasta in the film. How Italian! After getting the scales and human skin down packed, it was time for the animators to take a crack at the characters. Because of movement and facial expressions, the two departments needed to work together in order to make sure the expressions of the characters matched the transformation.
Does it come as an explosion of excitement, or does it happen slowly? We needed to be able to control that.
They took into consideration how the character would react to a splash of water versus a body of water, and even analyzed marine iguanas for inspiration on their movements. This all especially came into play when they animated what they call the swim sequence.
Swim was the first time where we were really showing off what it means to be a sea monster and a human, and to switch back and forth between the two.
This is where Luca makes the decision to go to the human world. Originally, the scene was supposed to be comedic, but they discovered the potential in it after uncovering the technology they needed for the sea monsters. In this scene, they even used the horizon to show Luca's inner turmoil.
The horizon line is always against Luca when he's struggling, and it's for him when he's actually getting it right.
Despite being a sea monster, Enrico made it clear that Luca should always appear not creepy.
Whoa, I don't want to be bitten by this guy.
In order to do this, they made sure their creations were always lyrical and decorative, and made sure to include Enrico's love for childlike animation. Even the sea monster to human transformation was meant to be gentle.
Isn't it great?
No, it's bad, and I'm not supposed to be up here. Good day.
Luckily for the animators, they had impeccable concept art drawn for them. Enrico translated many of his own experiences into the film, one of those being his love for Japanese animation, specifically by Hayao Miyazaki. He sat down with his crew and watched projects like The Castle of Cagliostro and Future Boy Conan.
We watched it together, we analyzed what can limited animation inspire us to do so.
That inspiration turned into beautiful 2D concept art that later was translated into 3D on screen. However, director of photography David Bianchi said they wanted to make sure that 3D animations still reflected Enrico's initial vision. It still feels like a CG film, but you can sense the hand of the artists touching it.
Everyone in Porto Rosso pretends to believe in sea monsters.
While the location of Porto Rosso is based on 5 fishing towns on the coastal Cinque Terre region of Italy, the name was also a nod to Japanese animation. Disney released a copyright document confirming that the name was a play on Porco Rosso, a film about an Italian pig pilot from the 90s. Aside from Japanese influence, Enrico also used his love for Looney Tunes and took inspiration from how the cartoon demonstrated speed.
We'd have 3 from my hand here to here to here, and we would put all three of them to kind of simulate quick speed.
Even Shaun the Sheep had a part in Luca in terms of how the creators wanted to incorporate some stop-motion vibes into the film. As for the creation of the sea monsters, those came from old Renaissance maps from the 1500s and old Italian sculptures they found when they went to Italy during their pre-production research. Overall, Enrico wanted these animations to be unique and imperfect, and even had the computer make mistakes on purpose to achieve his vision. I love the sense that all of our characters in some way feel different or unusual. Luca's director put his soul into the film, literally.
The story is loosely based on his experience growing up in Genoa with his best friend Alberto.
My best friend Alberto was a bit of a troublemaker. Alberto pushed me out of my comfort zone and pushed me off many cliffs, metaphorically and not. The film's theme of friendship and being who we are goes so much deeper than the audience knows.
I think he needs me, you know?
I can't do it without you.
While the technical aspects faced many challenges when it came to animations, the actors also faced difficulties themselves. Luca is a part of the epic collection of films that were made during the COVID-19 pandemic. Shout out to Raya and the Last Dragon! The three main characters, Luca, Alberto, and Giulia, may have been the best of friends on screen, but off-screen, their actors rarely saw one another. Because of protocols, some actors, like Jack Dylan Grazer, were forced to record their voiceovers in their mom's closet.
It's fine, I'm not human.
While he may have needed to have worked around some sweaters and shoes, his makeshift studio seemed pretty cozy. But despite his unique studio, the scenario was still difficult for him. It was definitely a stretch for me, a challenge for me as an actor, and as just a human being. Not to mention, he may have annoyed his neighbors just a tad. I bet my neighbors were really freaked out about the amount of screaming that was going on from my house. I don't know what they were thinking. As for Jacob Tremblay, who voices Luca, he was a little luckier than Jack. I actually started recording before COVID hit, so I was able to go into the San Francisco studio and they gave me the tour. When the pandemic did arrive, he was prepared to get his closet turned into a studio, but instead was able to safely record in a studio located in his home city of Vancouver.
Woohoo! Underdogs forever!
Emma Berman, who played Giulia, didn't get a whole tour like Jacob, but was lucky enough to record her part in the studio as well.
Look! That's Saturn. It's my favorite.
They didn't get the full filming experience, but the cast still fell in love with their characters and the story of Luca. While Jack and Jacob just couldn't get over how beautiful the animation of the film turned out,
The color of the sea and the sparkliness of the sea.
Emma fell in love and related wholeheartedly to the character of Giulia. I had a really fun time playing her because I relate to her in a lot of ways. We were both passionate about what we do, and we're also very excited and joyful people. Despite their challenges, the cast and crew transported their audience off their living room couch to what Jacob Tremblay described as the most perfect vacation.
That's literally what Porto Rosso is.
Director Casarosa was able to share his message of love and friendship with the world and used his creative mind to help inspire technology that will be used and developed for many more animations to come. Talk about a groundbreaking film. It's another one in the books for Disney Pixar. Thanks for watching.